Hello everyone, my name is Ashton and welcome back to my cozy corner of YouTube. In this video I will be adding to this spread using my Arrtx acrylic markers. I will be drawing this dish that I cooked the other week. It's a pretty simple stovetop beef stew that ended up looking really beautiful, so I couldn't help but want to draw it. As always, you could expect a Chatterbox voice session going over my process and whatever's on my mind, and then I will leave you guys with some cozy background music and the satisfying marker sounds. Timestamps for that will be in the description. Anyways, let's get into the drawing. Alright, so getting into it, like I said, this spread is inspired by a dish I cooked the other week. I actually cooked this dish with my mom, and I think the reason I'm so keen to drawing it is because I've recently gotten back into journaling, and I really like the idea of having journals or drawings that relate to, I guess, what I'm doing at the time, and because I think that'd be something really lovely to look back on. So the whole idea with this spread was that I would draw the stew kind of on top and then leave space underneath for me to add the actual ingredients and the whole recipe later. Kind of make it a whole journal entry in a way, right? So it's like, I don't know, just a way to remember what I cooked at the time and, I don't know, have it somewhere nice and like in a creative space. Yeah, so I think the hardest part about this drawing for me technically was trying to make all of the vegetables and meat look actually integrated in the sauce. Not that they were completely submerged, but like you could tell from the reference photo that they'd been dunked and so subsequently look like they have a bit of sauce on them. I say sauce when it's like just like the broth in the stew, right? But yeah, so that was the tricky part. I think the thing that really helped with that was having a cohesive base coat, I guess. The underpainting being all the same color because it really makes everything look super cohesive together. I would say my only regret with it is actually that I did too good of a job with that. I think I was focusing on it too much that I kind of lost some of the vibrancy that I fell in love with the dish for. Like, I think I could have done more with the color, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is a stovetop stew, fairly beginner friendly because I am a beginner. I think all the steps are fairly easy. It's mostly that because I am still learning that it takes me a while to do, on top of the fact that this needs to simmer in total for about 2 hours. So if you are a beginner, I always like cook with my mom so she could be doing some steps while I'm doing other steps and yada yada yada. But yes, I will try to link the recipe in the description. It is an external link, which means because I'm a small channel, YouTube might not give me permission to do it yet. I'll see if I could figure that out on time. But it was literally just the first result when I said stovetop beef stew. What I will say is just some of the things that my family changes with the recipe, because it does call for red wine at one point. And we don't use any alcohol in our recipes out of respect for the sobriety of one of my family members. So in case you do want a supplement, we find that it calls for like 1 cup of medium to full-bodied red wine. We use about like 3/4 pomegranate juice and then 1/4 of red wine vinegar. And it seems to be working pretty well as a good substitute to still have that flavor. We also, instead of cornstarch, tend to use flour just because it thickens the broth better into the way we like it personally. So there's that. But yes, this drawing took me a lot longer than I expected. And I think by the end, I don't know, I wish I'd done better at incorporating the bowl more to make it look more like the style, like the drawing style of the stew. You'll see by the end I'm just kind of, well, I'm running out of filming time and I'm also getting kind of burnt out with the drawing. So I kind of finish it up a little bit lazy. I might go in on my own time and fix that up a little bit. But there's that. But yeah, let me know if you guys also like this idea of like drawing out your recipes or the dishes you make as like a way of journaling. Because I know a lot of us who like drawing like to draw food, and I think it's just such a fulfilling experience to be drawing the food that you make. So yeah, that's been super fun. One thing I want to add on as well is, like I said, I've been getting back into journaling. I'm hoping to find some of my old journals from high school and just kind of going through, reading it again, talking to my past self in a way. And I've also come up with a journal system for this summer that I think works really, really well for me, because I had to take a long break for my first 2 years of university, just, focusing on being a student and working. So it's kind of felt like I've had to start fresh again. And I've been considering potentially starting to make videos about journaling as well. Just because, I don't know, I've been thinking about all the content I like to watch, and I like to watch drawing, and I like to watch journaling. I don't know, I want to appeal to the other people who like me, like that content, right? So, I don't know, I have a few tips and tricks that I've been implementing just to get myself back into the habit again. So kind of like how to fill my journal type of thing I might consider doing. So I'm just letting you know that that might be in the realm of possibilities in the future. And I don't know, maybe you guys will be interested. Anyways, that's enough of me chatting. I'll leave you guys with the cozy music and the satisfying drawings. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've been liking the vibe so far. But yeah, enjoy. Hopefully the music keeps you company. Bye.